Lugupeetud Tehnikaülikooli nõukogu liikmed, hea ülikoolipere.
Dear members of the council, dear academic family, friends. I am very happy to see so many of you here today. I hope that annual seminar is rather new format of our gatherings. It is the third consecutive year we are doing this. But this year's seminar is a couple of weeks later, taking place in comparison with the last year's, and that is due to the rector's elections. And I'm happy to see so many of you. It means that this event is gaining importance. In order to speak about the strategic plan and its implementation, we shall conclude first of all the activities of 2024. The strategic plan is valid until 2025, as you know. But in the meanwhile, we have already launched the process of new strategic plan, and it's compiling as of 2026. So it might be a bit controversial or complicated today, because we, on the one hand, speak about the old strategic plan and implementing the KPIs we have. On the other hand, we shall also look into the future and see about the new strategic plan. Zooming in on the KPIs, we see that we have put into practice many of the things that we wanted, and we will be able to launch the main KPIs until 2025. And I can conclude that the Tallinn University of Technology is doing quite well. Our annual report 2024, as you see on the right-hand side, the cover has been published, and our famous student formula you see in the picture here in the last year received the first place. So we have a world's best team. In Estonia, we have not been maybe speaking about this too much, but top universities are taking place in this competition. Among about 100 teams, ours won the first prize. So and for the next season, of course, best of luck to this team as well. I shall start by giving an overview, first of all, finances. I'm not saying that money is the most important thing. What actually matters are the people. But money is needed in order to attract the best people. So when we take a look at the main activities revenue from the last year and the development, you see that there are different study and performance-based results, also research support and the Estonian Research Council research support. You see that in 2021, for instance, 41 million to study support activities, 65 million now in the last year. This result, I wouldn't say should be something that we praise ourselves about, that we brought this money home. But the biggest increase in the financing of study affairs has been in Estonia's rectors as a council coming together and deciding that we don't conclude any administrative agreements for the university being 3-year contracts by the Ministry of Education to the Estonian universities, in which we say what we take on as obligations. We decided that we won't sign them together with all the rectors in Estonia until we get the study support by the Estonian state. In the next year, we also expect a rise of 5 to 8% for the study support by the state. What the future holds, we do not know. because we are again going into negotiations about administrative contracts with the universities. And in this fall already, we might find ourselves in a situation where we won't sign administrative agreements unless we have clarity how higher education in Estonia will be financed as of 2027 onwards. So here are the shares. You see that a share of study, as it is in pink here. You see a bit of changes throughout the years. At the same time, we have been quite successful in bringing in competitive-based money, especially in the field of research. In 2024, the highest rise was the so-called thematic areas, where TalTech was extremely successful. About roughly 50% of these focus areas research support applications were brought home to our university in the sum of about 20 million euros. I'm not going to go into details because in the annual report all the numbers are there, but the message is that we are quite well balanced as a research university. So about half of our budget is study support financing, and about half is then competitive-based and other support measures. So this is the way we could also move on. Now, if we make a prognosis about next revenues development strategy should be also confirmed next week. We see a little increase in the activity support as well. We hope and we forecast that it shall continue. When we go back to years 2022-23, when we compare the salaries of today's level with the other universities, the level is quite good. But let's go back to 2022, and you see that our lecturers' wages even were less than the students sometimes that they taught. So for lecturers, what is motivating to teach the BA students that will earn in a couple of years' time when they graduate higher wages than they do themselves? So 7% a year is the wage increase that we have written into our development plans and prognosis. This is something which the other rectors of the Estonian universities have done as well by the Rectors' Council. And the 7% has not been just taken randomly, but we have been calculating this quite thoroughly, not to have a downturn in our wages development. And also that's considering that expenditure to higher education would be more than 1% to Estonia's GDP. So let's see how the developments will be on the state level. And this autumn, if the situation does not improve, we will again face the fact that we cannot sign the administrative agreements in these conditions. We are currently in the beginning of the demographic peak. In the next 4 years, the age group from 19-year-olds to 22 will increase by 25%. So we have more potential students in the next 4 years to bring into our university as well, especially in engineering and other fields where the expectation of the labor market is increasing and is big. We need to bring these people in here and also have the money to teach them. So now the international rankings, the aims to get to the first top 100, 200, 500. For this, we would need to make different decisions. We'd need to employ a couple of Nobel Prize winners to improve the position in the ranking. This is not our aim, but we shall invest into quality. And we've managed to stay on a good level. And the ones who are higher above us in this ranking So we have been marked here, as you've seen, in pink. In the last 4 years, we've been on the level of 601 plus. So if we retain the same position, it's not standing still. We know that the competition is quite fierce. There are increasingly many universities also from Asia who strategically invest resources into buying top scientists, researchers to their universities to get bigger rankings. And when we see the ones who are above Eindhoven Technical University, Tartu University is not a technical university, but one that we compare ourselves with, and then Lappeenranta, Lahti Technical University in Finland, Riga Technical University, and then Vilnius and Kaunas Technical University are those universities that we collaborate with in the Baltic Universities Network, and we also have Nordic Universities Network. And then Eurotech is another network we work in. So to conclude this part, I'd say that the Tallinn Technical University is doing quite well. We have the capacity to increase competitive-based financing. We also have observed the activity support from the state. So our alumni is much appreciated. These people are much appreciated in the Estonian labor market, and we will see the next KPIs in a moment of time. Then academic workforce average salaries, which are quite good, Estonia's highest, I would say. So I will show you a graph in a moment to prove this. And then IT Academy, Engineering Academy. Engineering Academy has been launched quite successfully. Then IT Academy and also Just Transition Fund activities in East Viru County have been launched because by the state and by the Estonian society we have high expectations about our activities in this area and in the field of just transition. And we have 21 million euros to spend on these activities, 35 million together in a consortium with the University of Tartu. So it means that we need people in order to carry out these activities in this work. Also student organizations. About Formula One, I already spoke about the solar panel car. Let's keep our fingers crossed. The fourth generation vehicle was sent to Australia right away in order to compete with the rest of the world. Then our common events are increasingly popular. When you move around in the campus, you have understood that very many different events are taking place, campus party and so on. Then in 2024, amendments in our statutes were launched and took effect. And in the 1st of July last year, deans are full-fledged members of the rector's office. So this breakthrough is something which we also sense in our schools, in our institutes. So different steps taken towards launching a new organization culture, then elections of the Senate members, because in the 31st of August, the mandate of the current Senate ends, and the next Senate will be composed much differently. Very many elected members and also regional colleges elect their representatives to our Senate. And this will all take effect on September 1st. Centers of Excellence, which we launched, the aim of which was to be across the board, interdisciplinary, across schools, places of collaboration, PhD admission of PhD candidates we have increased. And when we speak about the new strategic plan that we are going to put together in the weekend, a new Estonian government coalition agreement was published, and one point in it was to increase the number of PhD candidates admitted to the universities from 300 to 500. That means that the Estonian state has decided to increase the number of PhD candidates supported, especially with the focus to AI, which means that the Tallinn Technical University should play quite a big role in this. Erik Puura is going to speak more about research and entrepreneurship and shows the KPIs in this field. But we can emphasize that our quality enables us to compete successfully with many research financing measures. When we take a look at the Q1 articles per academic staff member, the numbers have increased. But we also see that our R&D support measures have been launched well, and the capacity is there to apply for these funds. Now moving on to how much our alumni is appreciated in the labor market. We see that the average wages of our graduates in comparison with Estonia's average wage, we have to see that Estonia's average wages have been on the increase. Today it's more than 2,000 euros a month. It has been led by the public sector mostly. Our alumni most likely will go to work for the private sector after graduation. 1.65 is our aim, and we see that in pre-schools it is 0.002 missing from this 1.65. The question is whether it's enough today or on a good level today or not. But we see that the Estonia's average wage has been increased as well. I am a bit worried about natural sciences. It is a bit less than 1.65 here, and it's also reflecting the labor market and expectations, the possibilities there. We know also that quite some of our graduates in the MA studies in the natural sciences come to continue PhD programs with us. 2,300 euros is the pay for these PhD candidates. I believe that the Senate will also take a closer look at that after the new mandate is launched, whether it's enough or should be amended as well. Now, the comparison of average wage 2024, TalTech, the Tallinn University Institute of Life Sciences in Tartu, also Estonian Music and Theatre Academy, and Estonian Art Academy are free. University of Tartu is not lagging behind, but now if we take a look at the senior lecturers, which is the fourth column from the left, we have seen a couple of years back that our senior lecturer wages were not on the level good enough in comparison with other universities. That is, now that we have a possibility of increasing the wage fund and financing in general by 21 million euros, as I said, the main place of investment of these finances have been in the human capital, and that is in the wages to people. And we were also forced to compensate this outrageous inflation. We had prices of energy sources which increased threefold in a couple of years back. But we have consciously also put the academic staff members carry out teaching and research on the forefront, and we have managed to do it well. The graph shows, but we of course have to keep up with them. With these tendencies and not fall back to 2021-22, where the situation was not no longer sustainable. And, if we compare the main salary average level, then in comparison with other universities, we have managed to advance quite fast. Our average pay was a little below 3,000 euros, followed by the University of Tartu and University of Tallinn. So 2 years ago, we decided, first of all, to increase the wages of academic staff members who carry out study tasks, and this is something we can see in the statistics as well. So it all sounds very well, but we still have plenty of challenges as well.
Selgeid väljakutseid. Kui väljakutse samal ajal ei oleks, siis oleks ilmselt ka meie areng ei oleks ja meil ei oleks väga...
But without challenges, we wouldn't have the goals to work towards. The biggest one perhaps that you can also hear in the media a lot is how to make our graduates fit the needs of Estonian labor market. Engineering Academy has taken new goals, considering how many engineers should be entering the labor market. The skills report also shows that we are lacking thousands of engineering professionals annually. Now the question for us is how to engage and attract these young specialists more to the labor market. And we should collaborate with IT and with natural sciences in this respect. So in order to have more engineering professionals and to take them to the point of graduation, for this we need to increase admissions. In order to increase admissions, furthermore, we need more prospective students who are capable of studying also here at the university. And the keywords here are collaboration with Estonian secondary schools and also basic schools already, because math skills and natural sciences skills are quite challenging and lagging behind, already starting from the Estonian basic schools. So more collaboration needs to be carried out with them as well. So these are all those challenges on our table as well. The dropout rate of the students is a challenge. Study affairs will show them as well. It might be quite a big challenge. Roughly 50% of our students who are admitted to the programs do not graduate today. Also, what are the challenges or what are the solutions we can apply in order to increase the attractiveness of academic career? We see that we need to calculate how to make these things more attractive, how to do more entrepreneurial collaboration, also how to increase the state model places for PhD candidates. 76 to 77 PhD places are there and to be funded by the state. And then also nice words in our strategic plan, which say that the Tallinn University of Technology is the engine of Estonian economy. Now the question is, how shall we put actions behind these nice words in order to cope with the current challenges? Of course, last but not least, AI and its role in research and study affairs. On the Rector's Office, we are putting together an AI roadmap currently, we have been saying that AI is not a strategy document. Strategy document is foreseen usually for 5 to 10 years, but AI is a rapidly developing area, so our roadmap is stipulating activities for the next 6
kommunikeerime ja eesmärk on, et alates juba uuest õppeaastast oleks ka.
So the aim from the new year is to
riigi poole rahastus loomulikult.
Increase the use of AI in the study work as well. Also state financing, how it's developed, this is also a big challenge. So my colleagues will touch up on these topics as well, so I'm not going to go into details, but the biggest challenge, graduates with nominal time, 48% of the total in 2025. So how to make people graduate on time or not to drop out at all is one of the biggest challenges. So the average is below 50%, 60% is the aim which we've set in our strategic plan. We see that the School of Economics has managed to fulfill this plan by 61% here, and the others are lagging behind a bit. Also academic offspring and challenges today and in the future. We see our PhD candidates, 547 in total. After the reform, our PhD candidates are no longer doctoral students alone, but they will be diverted into junior research fellows. And in the Estonian media, people usually complain that the public sector is increasing and more public officials are employed. 2/3 of these people are our PhD graduates from the Estonian universities who are also counted in there. So the admissions are rather in the decrease or have been in the decrease in the last years, but breakthrough and reverse tendency should apply now, since the Estonian state has decided that more PhD candidates are needed in the universities and more people with doctoral degrees to our labor force.
Meie doktorandid, kes on Eesti kodakondsusega ja muud, et väga jämedalt täna.
We see the Estonian PhD students with Estonian citizenship and foreign students. We can see it's roughly 50-50 now, so 50% Estonian origin PhD students and 50% foreign students. We have to say, or we don't have to say, that we need to increase the share of Estonian admissions, but we have to say what to do with these foreign PhD candidates who graduate here, that they should also stay here. And you see that case of geography, the very last column you see, it's just 100% because it's one PhD candidate and it's an Estonian person. But let's have a look at different areas. If you see now the division in the schools, we'll see natural sciences here with 85 in the middle, so 55%, in the School of Economics, 57%, in Maritime Academy, 58%. And in the IT department, lower the Estonian origin IT students in the PhD study is lower than 50%, mainly 38%. Here you see the dynamics and prognosis. So foreign PhD candidates here with purple and Estonians with grey. The question is whether we should now somehow break away from this tendency. Of course, it is important for people, Estonian origin people who come to our MA studies, that they will continue and also defend their PhD studies. But I want to just sum up and say that what is most important is that all these people stay here in Estonia and keep on living and working in here, no matter what nationality. The number of students and its dynamics, we have to take into consideration when in 2010, 2011, demographically we had a very high peak.
Kes tulid õppima esimesse astmesse oli
in 2011 we saw 100,000 students in the first level of university education, and you see a major drop afterwards, which is in connection with the demographic tendencies, but also higher education reform influenced these numbers. Tuition-free study period followed, and we had one point in 2022 when we had 9,100 students. Now the prognosis by 2030 was, or prognosis was, when the tendencies would continue to 7,000, but we have managed to work in the direction of increasing these numbers. It is important for us to focus on what are the areas we admit most of these young people to. This is in connection with what is expected from us by the society, the state, and the general public, IT, engineering. But we should not also lose our position from the point of view of the graduates of the School of Economics. We know that the University of Tartu has increased their students in areas where it's easy to do, in social sciences, for instance, and humanities.
Mina nagu näen seda trendi siin, et peaksime selles suunas edasi liikuma.
And I also see the tendency that we would need to increase there. So, all in all, I do believe that we have been coping quite well with the changes and challenges, and quite some interesting days ahead. Strategic plan. The planning is in process, and when I said that there was a change in our statutes, then the statutes now quite clearly says as well that the new strategic plan is put together in a synchronized manner or in harmony together with the strategic plans of the institutes and schools. Of course, we can set nice goals and put together nice aims, but then from our ivory tower, we can then take a look at the things, but we have to invest into people, into research groups, into the people that actually brings the results of the strategic plan for us and take our university life further. So the number of students, graduates, this is our concern and the challenge, because our competitiveness and offspring depends on it. And then the new administrative contract negotiations, the first draft is about to be discussed in the fall. I can say that I am moderately optimistic at this point, that we will also manage to cope well in the future as well. So to conclude, I understand that what is expected of me is how in the new era our new rectors, how our management will evolve. I am happy today to say that according to all plans, which will be put into practice from the 1st of August, Ingrid Koppel will start. The speaker corrects himself and says Ingrid Koppel is the person from the School of IT, who's going to be vice rector for study affairs. And she will be then facing the whole circular topics about AI in the study work. Kornitski will continue as part of the director's office. He's also here today. I believe that it does not need much introduction in this house and beyond. Then entrepreneurial topics will be dealt by Erik Puura continuously. And then the final composition of the director's office will be then published and said out loud by the summertime. So that's it from my side now. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish everybody a nice panel. And please stay here after lunch as well, because the AI discussion is going to be very interesting, and there's going to be a nice panel. So thank you very much, everyone.